Hello everybody, it's Wendy, and today we are going to make a beautiful wire wrapped heart necklace using Jesse James Bing Mix, or Bing Cherry Bead Mix, let's say. First, our encouraging word for today is great things take time, and I thought this was a good word for today because we're going to be wire wrapping a little bit, and you know how I am with wire wrapping if you've watched my channel for any amount of time. I'm not the greatest, but I really want to make a wire wrapped beaded heart. So we're going to attempt this today. There's a little jump ring to hang it from a chain, whatever chain you would like. But we're going to attempt this. Like I said, I'm not an expert by any means in wire wrapping, but I do enjoy trying to create different and unique things, and I really thought that this heart would be pretty for Valentine's Day. Really pretty. This is the Bing Cherry mix again. And to make our heart, what we're going to be using out of this are all of these tiny beads. Now you can use whatever beads you want. This is the way I'm going to do it. Going to be using the tiny ones, the second size up, and then a few of the bigger ones. I don't use a whole big lot of the bigger ones, but I do like to have a few of them on there, and I really like these pearls. So probably going to try to do a few of the pearls. And then maybe a couple of the English cut. Probably won't use this biggest one just because it's so large. And I like these. Do we want to put, yeah, we may put a couple of those on there as well. And then we are going to use one of the transparent drops and a bead cap on the bottom. And I think that's everything that we're going to use from the mix for this specific heart. This is 24 gauge craft wire, just artistic wire. We're going to be wire wrapping with it. And then you're going to need a 6-inch length of 20, no, this is 18 gauge. I'm sorry, this is 18 gauge, just silver artistic wire. Okay. And that's everything in a jump ring. You may need a jump ring. You will need a jump ring. So this is what we're going to be making again. And you'll need a bench block and a hammer. Now, you don't have to have a bench block and a hammer. I mean, you will need to hammer, but you can use your garage floor and a hammer if you know, this is a jeweler's hammer and a bench block. You don't have to have that. If you have a concrete floor and a hammer, you're good to go. That's what I used to do before I got this. So this will be a little bit loud when we start hammering too, just a word of warning there, because I'm not going to pause the video. I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. And I'm not sure how to take sound out, but if I can figure that out, I'll do it. All right. So grab up your stuff and a ruler. You're going to need a ruler. Come on back. And your jewelry tools, of course. You're going to need your jewelry tools. And we'll get started. Okay, so here we go. So we've got our 6-inch piece of wire here, and we want to find the middle, which is right here. And we want to take our chain nose plier, and I've got a bent nose plier here actually. And we're going to fold this in half, okay? And you want to fold it all the way up. And we're going to take it and take our plier here, and we're going to press. Now, when I'm working with wire, I like to work really slowly because I'm not super accomplished at wire. I enjoy it, but I haven't done it a whole lot. So I just know a few little techniques, and you know, that's pretty much it. So we're just going to bend this with our plier. And we want to get it as close together as we can, okay? So I'm going right in here like this, just very carefully. There we go. Now, once you have it like this, you want to take the one end here, and I'm going to grab it with, I'm going to pull this apart a little, grab this with my plier, and I want to take this one side. It doesn't matter if you do the right or the left, that's totally up to you, and just bend it out like this, okay? So here's what we have. We have this little loop here and this piece bent out. I'm just going to try to straighten this a little bit, and if you've got some nylon jaw pliers, you can straighten your wire just a little, okay? And then I'm going to take you can use any round object that you have. I'm probably, let's see, I was using my hammer a minute ago, but that didn't work out too well. I'm going to use my, my little beading awl here. And you can use whatever you've got, but just take the one side of your plier and just bend it around, just like this, okay? One side of your wire, not your plier. What am I thinking? Okay, then we're going to do the same on the other, and you can pull this apart a little bit if you want to. And you can make this one up higher. If you see, I've done this one up a little higher than that one. That's totally up to your creative control. You can do it however you want. And just bend it around like that. So here's what you've got. And now we can kind of shape our wires. I do this again very gently because I tend to want to go fast and then my wire looks crazy. I'm going to take this little bit right here with my round nose plier and I'm just going to turn it and make a little loop here with my round nose plier. Just like that. And on the other side, I'm going to do the same thing. Grabbing the tip of it and just giving it a little swirl. Just like that. Okay, and there we go. Now, I kind of like this. I think this one looks pretty good. And we are going to wire wrap this middle part together, okay? So once you get it the shape that you want it, you're going to take your hammer, and I am going to be very gentle, okay? I don't want a whole lot of hammering. I just want to work hard in this so that it is not so flexible, okay? And I know this is kind of loud, I'm sorry. But you're just going to take your hammer and just gently give it some work hardening, just like this. And don't worry if it bends out of shape just a little bit, we'll fix that in a minute. But again, I'm just being gentle. I don't really want to flatten it out too much. This one I flattened out quite a bit, and I kind of like that look too, but I may do that just on the curves here, but I don't want to do a whole lot of flattening, so I'm just being gentle and slow about it. And what this does is it hardens this wire so it's not going to bend out of shape so easily, or when we start putting our pieces on, our little beads on, it's not going to bend out of shape so easily. So I'm just gently going around. Let it cross over. You don't want to be banging the wire on top of the wire. You want it to be laying flat here. Okay. So, if you feel it, you can feel that it's stiffer, you know, than it was before, for sure. Okay, so I'm just gonna, just a little bit more here. Again, I'm just being gentle. I'm really not pounding hard. Trying to be very gentle. Just like this. Okay? So I think this is pretty good. This is pretty much how I want mine to look, I think. Okay, now I might take this and twist this in just a bit more. Maybe. I don't know. I kind of like it like that. Let's see. Okay, now I want to wrap on this bigger part here. So let me flatten that out a tiny bit. Okay. All right. Now if it's bent up a little, you know, just shape it back into shape. It's going to get a little bit bent out of shape when we wrap on it, so we'll work on that in the end. But once you have the general shape that you want. Okay, now I'm going to take these rhinestone rondelles before I do any wrapping of this together. And I'm going to put these on. Let's see if I can get them to go on there. Yeah. And I'm just going to slide them up around here because I want them to be on here. You can't really wire wrap rhinestone rondelles very easily, I don't think. I don't know, maybe some people can, but I'm not one of them, so I'm going to slide mine on, and we'll slide them up and wrap them in with our other beads here as we go. Okay, so I've got them all 4 on here. There we go. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take our length of our 24 gauge wire, and we need to wire wrap this together because we don't want this to pull apart. Now, another thing you probably want to do is take a little file. If you can see, that is kind of sharp, and you can file it down, or you can take your cutter and just kind of trim it a little so it's not quite so pointy. If yours is not, yours may not be. Mine was very pointy. Okay, so I'm going to start at the bottom here, and I want to create a very neat little coil. Okay, I'm going to use my pliers to help me. And I just need to get this wrapped around to where it's starting to be secure. Now you don't want this to overlap, so make sure when you pull this, you want your wire tight, but you want it to be, you want these 2 pieces to stay side by side. At least I do. Okay, and I'm just wrapping this. I'm trying to keep the coil very neat so it looks good. And I'm wrapping down with this little tail piece because I've got my end piece here, or my longer piece here, and it's going to be wrapping up. And that's how I'm going to get my beads on. So I want to wrap down with this little tail piece so that the coil, you know, once I get the wire secured on here, I'm going to start going up. So wrap down with your tail piece, just like this. I'm just grabbing it and just taking the coil one below the one that I just did. Now, once I get it secured and it's on here, I'm going to come around to the back and make sure that, see how that tried to overlap right there? I don't want mine to overlap. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to pull this around and lay it across the back here. Push it up with my fingernail, lay it across the back, and then I'm just going to trim this little piece right here, and then just smush it together and lay it down. And if you kind of smash it down, it'll lay right down there. Okay, so here's what we've got. Now I'm going to take my wire and I'm going to continue wrapping up. Pull this through. Again, I don't want these to overlap, so I'm trying to keep it. This coil will twist if you're not careful. It'll kind of twist to the side, and then your pieces are going to overlap. So I'm going to take my chain nose pliers and keep flattening it so that stays side by side. And once I get about 3 or 4 little coils in the middle here to where it's held together, then I'm going to take my wire. So I'm going to go through here one more time. Let me get up through the heart. There we go. And you want to be sure when you're doing this that you're not kinking this wire. You don't want it to kink up like that. Just kind of make sure it stays open. Okay. So here I'm wrapping. And now I've got several coils here, and this is held together. So I'm going to start wrapping up the side of my heart now. Okay. So what I mean by that is I'm going to go around one more time, and instead of going through both loops, I'm going to just wrap around this one. Okay, so just like that. And I'm going to keep wrapping several loops around, and I'm pushing them down so it makes a neat looking little coil. I'm going to go around one more. Okay, take my pliers and push it down, and now I'm going to start adding my beads. I'm going to start with the very smallest beads. That's these little rondelles right here. And just leave your little rhinestone rondelles on there. You know, they can float at the bottom there for a second. And I'm just going to take my bead and kind of lay it where I want it. So I want it right about there. And then I'm just going to take the wire and wrap and secure the bead to the frame. So I want him right up here. Once you get the first couple on, it gets a little easier. And I'm just going to go around a couple times like I've been doing. Wrap one more. And he's secured there to the frame. Okay, I'm going to take another of the tiny beads. I like to start with the really little ones first and kind of trail into the bigger ones. Okay, get him all the way down. You probably don't need this much wire, but I like to cut, I don't know, I like to have more than to run out, so I've probably got way over what I need here. I have about 2 feet. But you probably, if you're better at wire wrapping than me, you won't need that much. So, and I shove the beads together periodically. So let me show you what I mean by that. I go around, once I've got this one on, I'll take them and just kind of shove them together, just like that, because I want them to sit kind of close together. And go around again. Okay, take another small bead. Actually, do I want to put a rondelle up here? I may do the rondelle. So to do this rondelle, I'm going to slide it up, and I'm just going to go through it with my wire here, through the hole. Okay, and this is just going to secure it in this spot. I'm just going to pull my wire through. It can be a little difficult to get through there, but it will go. May have to grab your pliers to help you get it through. Okay, come on now. And I'm just going to slide it up. There we go. Slide these beads together. And then I'm probably just going to add a bead right after it. I'm not going to wrap after it. I'm just going to add the bead directly on after I go through the rondelle. If I can find the hole in the bead, that is. There we go. Okay. I'm just going to slide the bead down. There we go. And then I'm just going to wrap around like this. Okay. Secure this bead on just like we've been doing. Yeah, that's pretty. I like the rondelle in there. Okay. Alright, let me do one more smaller bead. Actually, I might go the next size right here. Let's do this next size up bead. Yeah, that'll be good. We're going to put him right here. And again, same thing I've been doing. Just secure him to where you want to go. And wrap a couple times around. And one thing I do to make these beads lay a bit better is I shove them together, but I also shove the wire kind of up underneath the bead. So that way the bead shows and you don't see so much of the wire, even though I think the wire is pretty to show. I just want to, I don't want to have too much of it showing. I'm going to do another of these medium-sized beads, or the next size up from that little one, right here. Okay, so see, I scoot them up together and then I take the wire and I just make sure the wire's up under the bead a little bit when I'm wrapping. Okay, a couple wraps under that one. Scoot it up, and I'm going to put another rondelle, I think, right here. So let's do that. So let's take our wire and just go through the rondelle. It gets hard right at the end there. You just have to manhandle it and make it go. Okay, scoot it up there. There we go. And then I'm going to, again, put a bead right after it. So let's see what bead I want to put right after it. I think I will do one of these little ones again. Okay, so right on it goes. And wrap around a couple of times to secure it. There we go. Okay, I'm going to scoot them all up. Yep, that's looking pretty well like I like it. Okay, now I think I'm going to do next, I'm going to go into one of these English cut crystals. We're just gradually kind of going up in size, even mixing some of the smaller beads in still with the bigger ones, but still graduating up in the size. Okay, pull it around. Okay, scoot them up. And let's see, I think I will do, so what we've got left here. I think I'm going to do this guy. Actually, I want to save a couple of these smaller ones for the end. So I'm going to go ahead and do another of these, kind of the second step up one. Right here. And secure him on a couple times around. Okay, now, and if you get them kind of turning to the side, like I don't really want the hole in the wire to be what is showing, so I'm just going to kind of, you take it and just kind of turn the bead, make it lay the way that you want it to, pull it tight. See that, how I kind of turned that so the hole in the wire wasn't directly up on top. Some of them it's hard to because of their shape, but you can kind of make it, you know, you can force them to do what you want them to do. Okay, now we're going to do a pearl. We may not use all these beads, so don't feel like you have to use them all. We're going to do a pearl here. Go down and kind of up under the bead with your wire. That'll just keep it from being as noticeable, the wire that is. Okay. Okay, just like that. Okay, let's see. I think, what do I want to do next? Do I want to do a rhinestone rondelle there? Yeah, I think I'm going to go through the rhinestone, this next rhinestone rondelle, and get it on, because I don't want them to end up both laying at the bottom. And I'm running out of room, so let's put him on. See if I can get the wire through it a little bit better this time. That seems to be going pretty well. There we go. Scoot him up. Okay. Okay, so let's do the rhinestone rondelle. And then I'm going to go ahead and secure this one after it, just one loop or two. And then I think I'm going to do this bigger bead right here, the biggest one that I've got. Yeah, right here. Turn him kind of on his side and secure him. You may have to use your pliers when you get down here to the bottom. Okay, so just secure that one on. Scoot everybody up if you can. Okay, so here's what we've got. Now, let's see, I'm going to go ahead and put this rhinestone rondelle here just because it's kind of flopping around down here at the bottom. and I need to get it out of the way. So let's go ahead and do it. So I'm going to go ahead and go through it with my wire. There we go. Just pull it through. Okay, just like that. Scoot that up. Okay, now let's go around once just to get our wire back into a good position. Don't do that. You don't want it to go up the other side. Need it to go around right there. There we go. Okay. Okay, again, scoot everything up. All right. Now, let's go ahead and do right here. I'm going to do the English cut bead right here. No, I'm not. I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to do the second to the smallest bead that we were using. And you'll see I'm going to layer some more on, but I'm going to start going back up when I do that. So let's put this guy right here. This second to the smallest bead right here. Wrap around a couple of times. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I've got it wrapped around a couple of times after my second to the smallest bead. I'm going to cross over him and go around. So it puts me in a position to go back up my piece. And I'm going to use one of the smallest beads now. And I'm going to place it right in here, kind of in this open spot. And I'm going to wrap. Okay? And I'm going to wrap in between the beads as I'm going back up. So I will position him where I want him, pull the wire tight, and as you can see, it kind of goes hidden in between the beads and lays that bead in there. Okay, so I don't want to go on top, I don't think, of this guy. I'm going to go around him and wrap behind him. And you just have to kind of, when you're doing this, you just have to kind of fill in spots the best you can, and just keep your wire hidden as much as possible. I mean, it's obviously going to show some, and that's fine, but like this one, I'm going to place right in here. I'm going to go through here, and I'm going to make sure when I lay him in that he's right there, and then I'm just going to secure him right here by taking the wire and kind of going in between him and the bead above him, if that makes sense, just like that. Then I can move this around. You can move your beads the way that you want them. Okay, then if you have a spot that you feel like needs filled in, like right here, I'm going to use one of these small little beads. And I'm going to pull him down right here. And I'm just going to lay him right in there. Take my wire through. Okay, and he's going to kind of lay in that spot. And then you need to move your beads around the way you want them. Like I'm going to take these, I'm going to press them together. I'm going to pull him into that spot as I'm pressing these guys together. So he's going to lay in there, but the wire is going to kind of be hidden. Then I'm going to go up above the pearl bead and secure all of that. And again, your wire is going to show some, but you don't want it to be like just all over the place, okay? You want your beads to really be highlighted and showing. Now I feel like I need something right in there, but I'm above my pearl bead. So let's see here. I don't have too many smaller ones left. I don't really want to use a real small one. Let's try this one. I haven't used one of these yet. So let's put this on and see if I can get it to lay like right in here without too much wire showing. Okay, so I put it there, I pulled it tight. I'm going to go around, and then if I go in between these two beads right here with my wire and pull, that's pretty good. It doesn't show a whole lot. I can tuck my beads form them the way I want them to go. Now, I think I may put another pearl right here. And I like it to be kind of chunky in one spot, like a bunch of the bigger beads together, and then it tapering smaller on the top and the bottom. So that's the look that I kind of like. So let's put this pearl right here. Okay, let's go up and around. And I'm positioning him right there. Now the wire may not be super tight. I may have to loosen my wire again to get him to sit there, but he will sit there. And then can pull this back around and tighten it down, tighten the wire down. But see, this guy, this pearl, it took a little extra wire, but you can't see it from the front. So that's what I'm talking about just, you know, putting your beads where you want them to be and making them sit, and then just wrapping, you know, between beads, or however, around beads, behind beads, you know, whatever you can do to hide your wire a little bit. Okay, so I've got it kind of thick here, like I like it. I'm going to adjust these around a little just to make them sit better. Let's scoot him up here. So I kind of like it. As you can see, it's thin, then it gets a little thicker, and then we get real thick right here. I'm probably going to add in one more, maybe. Where's my wire at? There we go. Okay. Probably going to add in one more right here. Maybe do the smaller one. And just going to lay it right in there. Go through here with my wire. Just like this. Pull him back around because he's trying to get loose. And just make him sit right there where I want him to be. Okay, and then take my wire and secure it. So it is a very organic look. You get your wire is going to show some, but like I said, you take your beads, you push them around where you want them to go. So now we're right here beside this rondelle, so I'm going to go under it if I can. Let's see, yeah, and just kind of go around and come on up here a little bit. Okay, so this is what I've got left. This is my drop I'm going to use on the end. So I think I don't want to add too much more because I don't want to make it too busy. So I'm just kind of going in between my beads now, weaving my wire in between my beads and going around. I'm just going to secure it. So I'm just going to go around a couple times somewhere, go in between a few beads, and once I feel like that I've wrapped it around enough, let's go around one more time. Okay, then I will take the wire and I'll snip it on the back. Just like right there. And then I can take my chain nose plier and I can lay that little piece down. And when you just smooth it down with the other pieces, and then it's just going to lay. Okay, so here's what we've got. Really pretty little wire wrapped heart. So now we're going to do our little drop on the bottom. So grab yourself a head pin. I don't know if I said a head pin before. If I didn't, I'm sorry. You need a head pin. Trying to find a thinner one here. Okay, there we go. We're going to take our bead cap and put it on, and then our head pin, just like this. And I debated doing a wire wrap here. I don't think I want to. I think I'm just going to keep it simple. Whoops, there I go, doing a wire wrap. I think I'm just going to keep it simple and do a regular loop. So bend it 90 degrees, cut your wire, and make your loop. You could wire wrap it if you wanted, but I don't know. I just kind of want to keep it simple right here at the bottom. Okay, just form your loop around. And then we're just going to take our jump ring, and I like to use smaller jump rings if possible, just because I just don't like the jump ring showing so much. So I'm just going to pick out probably like a 4mm, or maybe even a 6mm, but just a smaller jump ring. That one's kind of thick. Let me find a thinner one. Here we go. Oops. Okay, and I'm just going to take my jump ring, and if you don't have enough room between your two pieces on your the part we made down there pointy, if you don't have enough room to hang it in between there, and I may not, yeah, I don't think it's going to go in there, then you can just hang it from the little one of the little pieces of wire here that you've got with your beads. Like I could hang it right here. Just take your jump ring and put it through one of the pieces of wire. Now if I wanted to use a super thin jump ring, I could get it through that little piece on the end there, or if you wanted to keep that in mind at the beginning and make yours a little wider, you could, but I'm good with it just like this. And there it is, and it just kind of gives a little point, I think, to the end of your heart. Now, you can hang a jump ring here and let it hang sideways if you'd like. I like mine to hang straight up and down, and you may need to kind of bend your wire just a little, reshape it if it's kind of gotten, you know, bent out of shape. But I like to take a jump ring. Let me find a small one again. I just like to take a small one here. And just find a loop on my wire here somewhere. Pretty much anywhere will work. Let's see. Could even go through the rondelle, but I don't want to do that. And if you have to, if you can't find a little spot, you can just take your plier and like get under your wire there and just make a little spot for your jump ring to hang. You can kind of pull it up like that. Now my jump ring will go through there. But you should have plenty of little spots that you could maneuver around a little bit and get a jump ring through. So there's mine. He goes right through. Close him up. If I can get a hold of him. These tiny ones, we fight. Okay, close him right up. And then if you have a small chain, I like to use a small delicate chain for this. This is just a, it's going to tangle up on me. This chain gets tangled so easy. It's so fine, but it's pretty. Let's see if the other end, okay. And then you just take your little chain and put it through your jump ring. Put a clasp on and you've got your pendant. I don't really like to bead on the chain that I do these on because I feel like I want all the beads to just be on the heart. That's just my own personal preference. Like I said, you can do it however you want. But there it is. So it makes a really pretty, just little wire wrapped heart. You could even curl this in if you wanted and hang something from there. But I just kind of like to keep it like this. Yeah. So fun little project, great Valentine's Day project, or even Mother's Day. It would be cute, like if you wanted to do this and wire wrap all birthstones of all your siblings or something like that on there. That would be really cute Mother's Day gift, I think. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will have links below for the Bing Cherry Mini Mix, which is really cute. And I will link some chain as well that is fine like this that would work. But you guys have a great rest of the day, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.